Hey there, this is Jamie Champion, developer of the Vibrancy Path. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the power of understanding and how you can get yourself vibrationally into alignment with this amazing power that keeps you learning, keeps your mind engaged, keeps you from shutting down. And shutting down happens mentally for a lot of us because if you're afraid to ask questions because you don't want to appear like you don't really know what you're talking about, that's everybody is at times ignorant because we don't understand. We haven't asked the questions. So we're not going to learn until we start to ask questions. And if you are maybe afraid to share the ideas or share the experiences you've had, or you just feel in some way awkward expressing your own thoughts and your own ideas and your own understandings, or maybe it's just feels uncomfortable exchanging that intimate connection of background information. It's like if I'm embarrassed about my life history or my family's history, then I may not really want to develop a close connection with somebody else because I'm afraid to share that vulnerable information. Or maybe it's simply I've over the years have had so many misunderstandings and so many stresses where we just didn't get each other, I didn't get my teachers, they didn't get me. I didn't get that parent and they didn't get me. I didn't, that friend in that relationship just broke apart. And so this struggle of understanding is something that we all have as human beings, and we can't just like give up trying to understand. We have to just keep on exercising this muscle so that we can build that relationship first with ourselves and then ultimately with other people and the subjects that we really want to get good at and learn and be an expert at. So in this simple exercise today, we're going to teach you how to develop and strengthen your power of understanding. We're going to do it in 4 simple stages, and we're going to be holding a spot on the back of the head that we call your green topaz spot, and it's the light frequency. Green topaz is the light frequency that resonates to your occipital ridge. Occipital ridge is that bump on the back of your head, and you're going to be holding that bump, and it's like you're stimulating that part of your brain that says, I want to figure this out. I want to understand that piece of information. I want to understand how to fix that piece of equipment. I want to understand why that person said what they said. So the whole field of psychology and personal relationship dynamics and all schooling and education has this theme of green topaz power of understanding. So let's strengthen your power of understanding first by holding that occipital ridge bump, and you're going to repeat after me 3 times the following affirmation. I'm learning all the time. 3 times. I'm learning all the time. I'm learning all the time. I'm learning all the time. Let's do a blow clear. Let's clear away the stress of when you didn't feel like you could learn something. When you didn't feel like you could learn, for yourself. You couldn't learn that subject. You couldn't learn because you just felt stupid, or you just felt like people don't get how I learn. And so that learning process is unique for every one of us. Let's go ahead and hold that same spot, that bump, and sing, I'm learning all the time. I'm learning all the time. 2 more. I'm learning all the time. I'm learning all the time. Let's clear. You want to affirm to yourself that of course you can learn. That learning curve never stops. All that would stop is your accessing that power inside you. So you've got to strengthen it on a day-to-day basis. All right, let's go ahead and hold that same spot. And here we go with our next affirmation. I gather interesting information. 3 more times. I gather interesting information. I gather interesting information. I gather interesting information. Clear? Every one of us, you have subjects, people, things that you want to want to learn, and you want to feel that inquisitiveness. I want to be interested in life. I want to be interested in people. I want to be gather interesting facts about my history, about your history, about whatever it is that you're trying to really grasp and come to a place of understanding. So gathering interesting information is just a facet of our life. Let's hold that same spot. Let's sing it now. I gather interesting information. 3 more times. I gather interesting information. I gather interesting information. 1 more. I gather interesting information. All right, awesome. Let's now energize this same spot. Hold it 1 more time. And this is a really powerful affirmation. I am driven to understand relationships. Let's do that 3 times. I'm driven to understand relationships. I'm driven to understand relationships. 1 more. I'm driven to understand relationships. Clear? You know, these affirmations are designed as a way to strengthen your internal well-being. And if you're driven to understand your parents, you're driven to understand your kids, you're driven to understand your coworkers, you're driven to understand your wife or your husband or the people that matter in your life, we're all different. Every one of us is different. And so when you have this power of understanding engaged, then it's kind of like, I finally understand why you do what you do and why I do what I do. I finally understand why we're different, why we look at life differently, why we see life differently, why we engage in our life differently. I developed the vibrancy healing system and the vibrancy path as a means to helping people understand their differences. So that's a critical part of your own human nature, is to be able to be driven to understand how people are wired. All right, let's hold that same spot and sing that now. I'm driven to understand relationships. I'm driven to understand relationships. I'm driven to understand relationships. 1 more. I'm driven to understand relationships. Let's clear it. All right, awesome. And our 4th affirmation here. Hold the same spot. I am a lifetime scholar. 3 more times. I am a lifetime scholar. I am a lifetime scholar. I am a lifetime scholar. So what do you want to be a lifetime scholar of? Do you want to understand cars? Do you want to understand physics? Do you want to understand healing? Do you understand your own emotional heart? Like, what is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you feel is a interest that you have, that you want to be scholarly? You want to know it. You want to understand it. You want to figure it out. That's what being a scholar is all about. Let's hold that same spot and sing that. I am a lifetime scholar. 3 times. I am a lifetime scholar. I am a lifetime scholar. I am a lifetime scholar. Clear? So clear all the stress of feeling like you don't get it and that you don't understand. Whether it's you don't understand yourself, or you don't understand this person that you're living with, or you don't understand the materials that you're trying to grasp for your schooling. You know, understanding is so fundamental to our day-to-day life and health and well-being and happiness. So when you exercise this little muscle every day and strengthen it, you do it both in the subconscious mind, the way we did with speaking and singing affirmations, and you can also do it vibrationally by taking the vibrancy essence on a day-to-day basis. Half a dropper is good. Now, when my cells start vibing into this green topaz understanding, it's kind of like I become a little more inquisitive. I become a little more intelligent. I become a little bit more conscious of wanting to learn. You know, keeping that part of my brain active. You know, when you don't use it, you lose it. You know, so when people are getting a little senile and getting a little rusty in their thinking, it's because this green topaz part of your brain is literally what's keeping you sharp. It's keeping you mentally sharp so that you know, you can keep yourself mentally engaged in your day-to-day life, learning, growing, experiencing, understanding, and it never stops. The schooling of life, the the grades of our own education, our educational experience, our wisdom, our understanding of ourselves and others never stops. It just keeps going on forever. So wouldn't you like to be on the top of that process and not feeling like, oh man, I can't handle it. So let's have you energize your learning and your relationships and your understanding every single day. Until next time, this is Jamie Champion, developer of the Vibrancy Path. Here's to you understanding and grabbing life with full understanding and gusto.